Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so I have Jeremy Brutus on the line. He's co-founder and president over at URBN Playground. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here and catch up with you, Adam.
All right, Jeremy. So we got a great topic today. So designing and evolving amenity spaces for experience. So what a great topic. We're going to get into some of, the new services that you've been offering since the onset of COVID, and we're going to talk a little bit about typologies. But maybe just to get us kicked off, let's go into some of your career and what you've seen. So what kind of changes really have you seen in this amenity space throughout your career?
Well, I mean, even throughout my life, the changes have been really, really dramatic. If we go back like 20 years, amenities were really that fitness center in the basement at a hotel where they had 3 pieces of equipment, and they've evolved so dramatically since then into complete almost commercial-like fitness centers and pools, to lounge spaces, co-working, golf simulators, to skate parks in residential buildings. The evolution has been incredible, and it really drives the development of real estate development on commercial, hotel, and residential buildings.
So let's talk a little bit more about what you've seen in terms of a convergence of typologies, just among residential, office, hospitality. I mean, because they've all evolved in their own kind of manner. What kind of things have you seen?
Yeah, up to about probably 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, when we started URBN Playground, we really saw that hotels, commercial, multi-tenant, corporate, and residential really had their own distinct personalities. And over the past 3 or 4 years, we've found that, there's been this sort of centric bleed of services and equipment and design throughout all of these different typologies. So this hotel service that you're so used to when you go to a Marriott or a Peninsula hotel, now, people expect it in your residential rental building, and they expect the types of services that you would get from a concierge at a hotel at a multi-tenant building. And some of the services you used to get at corporate and multi-tenant, like these really fully blown out fitness centers that are really just there to take care of the 5,000 or 6,000 people on a campus or on a tall building in an urban setting, are now migrating into the residential space. I mean, we've just completed a property where we have almost a 5,000 or 6,000 square foot fitness center in a residential property of 1,000 units. So it's really incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's a big change, by the way. So I don't want to glance over that. That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal, and it really is driving the leasing and people's decisions. Now, if you're renting an apartment in the city and you're touring a space and you have a 5,000 square foot fitness center, you don't need necessarily to join a commercial fitness center. You have everything you need there, and you have, in your own home, 5 minutes away, an elevator right away, which is what it's all about nowadays. It's still about time. Really, that is a true luxury, like our grandparents told us, right? I mean, how many times, Adam, have you had your grandmother or a relative or somebody said, like, time, what I would do for 10 more years, or what I would do for 10 more minutes or 10 more hours at this vacation? It's all about that now.
Yeah, I think people are realizing that more and more, and it's just such a premium, everything I was buying for our time. So if those amenities and those things are there for you, I mean, and you don't, and it's not like, so, I remember, when this concept maybe just started, or at least maybe when I noticed it, and they'd have, it looked like equivalent to a little cubby hole, right, with a couple machines thrown there or something else, and it was like, this is our fitness center, and then nobody used it, right? And then you still had to have like a membership or something elsewhere, but they got to check off the box that got you in the door so they could sell you because they have a quote unquote fitness center. So that's why I'm blown away when you tell me about the work you're doing. I'm like, what? Wow, this is amazing. It's a true fitness center.
Absolutely, and it goes beyond fitness and pool. We've done the D&D, the design development for a new rental property right outside of Hudson Yards in New York, where it's going to be the most dog-friendly building in the entire state, maybe in the entire country. We're going to invite people with their pets to the leasing of the space of their apartment, and we're going to have programs for their dogs on property. We're going to have a dog run inside, outside. It's really, really incredible the extent that we've gone to really understand the end user and deliver on the things they really care about.
So let's talk about what's going on a little bit more ever since the onset of COVID-19. So how has this really affected your space? Are you offering new services? Like how have you been weathering that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible year for us so far. I would say for us on the business side, we're probably net 30 contracts this year in terms of new business. So, and I think a lot of it drives back to our technology. We made a lot of investments in 2018 and 2019 into develop our own software platform, and the timing couldn't be more perfect for us during this year. That said, a lot of our programming and spaces have been curtailed because of closures and restrictions and other things. So we've been able to migrate virtually to doing our fitness classes online and on our Instagram feed, where people can stay connected to our instructors, to our brand, and to the fun things that we do at the property. We often say that we make amenities fun again, and that's really at the end of the day what we do. And some examples of the things that we've done, during COVID are where people have been sort of out of the city or out of their apartment or out of their homes. They've been at second homes. We had one particular person who was in Puerto Rico for COVID, and she needed access to things from her apartment. She actually gave us permission to go to her apartment, permission to go into her safe, permission to go into her papers. Then while we were there on the call, she actually asked us, could you go to my daughter's room? I want to get some clothes for my daughter. And then her husband chimed in, and he wanted things from his room. We ended up paying a $500 bill for Puerto Rico and all the things they needed from their apartment. Because we're embedded in these buildings, we're the trusted partner for them. We're their liaison, the helper who helps them get things done in times of stress. So it's been really an incredible year for us.
Wow, that's definitely going above and beyond. I need to send your team some things I want from New York. Let's see what. No, just
let's do it. What do you need? Tell us what you need. What we got to do.
You're like, Adam, this is not a concierge service, buddy. No, it's serious. So Jeremy, tell us. So final question. I want to get into what you're doing over at Urban Playground. So there's some people listening that will want to follow up and learn more about the company overall. So first off, what is typically a good fit or a good to work with Urban Playground? And then second question, what's the best way for those individuals and organizations to connect?
Well, there really is no perfect fit. Every fit works. We've been employed by units of 9-unit buildings to 1,000-unit buildings to 2,000-unit buildings to 6,000 employees working at a commercial property. So there really is no cookie cutter fit. We tailor every program to that user. So that's those folks in the 9-unit building where we're managing their concierge services and we're handling their technology and we're running their pool and sending lifeguards. It's the same level of service that we're doing at, let's say, a multi-tenant building on Park Avenue with 6,000 people. Where the services change, where we're not cleaning people's apartments necessarily or managing their pool. We're running their fitness center, changing their iPhone screens and running errands for them around the city. So the service has changed, but the approach is all about taking care of people. And ultimately, we feel that the service is really the next amenity of the future. It's not space anymore, which it has been for the last 10 years. And that's why Urban Playground's been really successful.
And what's the best way for people to follow up and connect?
Call me direct. This is what it's all about. My email address is jeremy@urbanplayground.com, and that's URBNPlayground.com. You can visit our website and find us there, or just give us a call 24 hours a day. We actually pick up the phone.
Awesome. And let's leave that phone number one more time.
212-803-3337.
Fantastic. Well, Jeremy, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about all the great work that you're doing over at Urban Playground. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you learned a lot. If you're a first-time listener, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We definitely want you to be a return listener. Have some more great guests coming up for you. Don't want you to miss out on those. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely leave us some comments there. But also leave us some comments on the video so that we can continue the conversation there. Love to connect with you and figure out what kind of things you're up to. And Jeremy, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
It has been a total pleasure, and keep doing the great work you're doing on Mission Matters. We love it.